JavaScript ES6, Basic Data Structures. In JavaScript, there are two kinds of values, single or multiple. For single values, examples might include the string hello or the number 5. These are usually created with the keywords let and const, C-O-N-S-T. Multiple values can be stored in arrays. These are sequences of values where the order is important. They are created using open and closing square brackets. Similar to creating single values, this then creates a set of sequences of values. When created, the method push can be used to add new entries at the end. In arrays, the order is important. Adding new entries adds to the end of the array, and the number of entries in the array will always be represented in its property length. Getting the length property of any array will show the length of it. Right here in this code example, array example.push5 previously had 0 entries for its length, and when one entry is added, the number 5 in this case, the length then becomes 1. An individual entry can be accessed through its position starting at 0. In this case, see that the value at 0 is 5 because it is a single first entry starting at the position 0 using the open and closing square brackets after the name of the variable containing the array. JavaScript also supports what is called object literals. These are objects defined literally where all of its properties or methods are stored and defined one by one in a literal method. In this case, notice the example of object example using open and closing curly brackets instead of the square brackets used with arrays. In this case, first prop is set to the value, and second prop to another. Both cases are strings. Notice that they use a comma between the name of the property and its value, a colon between the name of the property and its value, and a comma between different properties. These are accessed through what is called dot notation. So the name of the variable containing the object, a period, and then the name of the property to access to get to the value of that property within the object. Finally, properties and objects can also be any value. This includes functions. However, when functions are included in an object, they gain a different name, a method. So we see here an example of an object with two properties, first prop and second prop, again defined with the property, a colon, and then the value separated by commas between the properties. Second prop, colon, another, also another string value, comma, and then third prop, which is another value, but in this case is the value of a function, which makes it a method. So when a function is in an object, it becomes a method. These are two different ways to create data structures within JavaScript. There is, again, either single values or multiple values, using either the string hello or the number 5 for a single value, or for more complex values, we see that we could use arrays using open and closing square brackets, or we could create object literals using open and closing curly brackets defining all of the properties literally.